It'll be a policy of the United States to do whatever it takes to lead the world in artificial intelligence.
Is there anybody in this room that wants a data center to start copying?
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility. And the data center's right there.
It's less than 400 yards.
We don't want this. It is not going to benefit us in any way.
They destroyed the environment, taking down all the trees across the road.
Data centers going to be a very hot item.
This entire supercomputer is built to power Grok.
Meta is building a 2 gigawatt plus data center that is so large it would cover a significant part of Manhattan.
To say that this thing is not going to affect your electric bills in any way, shape, or form, you got to be off your rocker.
Tough enough as it is to live here with the poorest county, so when we had this, there is no more jobs coming with this.
It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care. They don't care.
We the people do not want AI data centers. I do not care what your views are. I don't care what party you're in, if you lean more left or right, if you're conservative, Republican, liberal, Democratic. This affects every single person on the planet. I've seen this comment time and time and time again. People ask, well, why don't we just build these data centers on the billionaires' land? Please try to understand how much land billionaires already own, and more importantly, leading on from that, the existential environmental effects that can happen from one small data center will trickle into the surrounding communities, neighborhoods, ecosystems for years to come. The power industry is one of the top US sources for greenhouse gas emissions, and as scientists have been saying for decades, it is one of the root causes of the climate crisis that we are now currently living in. Billionaires, tech billionaires, whatever they are, slugs, they do not care about you, they never have, and they never will. But isn't this just normal technological development? No, this is not normal. These data building proposals appear with very little to sometimes no notice at all, so of course that leaves people feeling completely out of the loop and have no idea what to expect. Even though it affects regional water, sewer, land, traffic, protected lands, and electrical infrastructure. And as you may have heard, they are promising so many people jobs due to the building of these centers, and that is simply just a lie to keep you on their side. A typical size data center, which is anywhere from 2 football fields to sometimes 50 plus, we'll get into that. Those data centers can really only promise 10 to 30 permanent jobs, most of which are off-site or automated. And not to mention the tax incentives that will thus ruin the local revenue. You could easily compare these data centers to Amazon warehouses, which of course we all know is owned by the 5th richest man in the world. Very similar. These data centers, along with Amazon warehouses, are built in very low-income communities of color and usually, of course, result in mass deforestation and ruining our ecosystems, both of which cause immense light, water, noise, and air pollution, both of which also cause multiple dozens upon hundreds of semi-trucks to go through small neighborhoods and surrounding communities daily. There truly has never been a better time for anyone and everyone to speak up. Just this morning, I saw a very important message online that I need to share with you, especially if you are someone who plans on physically showing up to help stop these monstrosities from continuing. To quote, "Since a lot of people in this group said they had no idea this proposal was happening, as it seems so for many, I'm sharing some starter talking points for anyone who wants to attend this meeting or to send an email to the Planning Commission. This is simply to help us all understand what questions need to be asked before anything moves forward." So let's get into it. So this is just a big list of key concerns and talking points for the Planning Commission meeting, which you might plan on attending. If not, please be sure to email your representatives. Number 1, lack of transparency. These proposals always seem to appear with little to sometimes absolutely no public notice. Residents deserve time to review, understand, and comment on major developments that could further affect the township. Number 2, high electricity demand. If you didn't already know, data centers require massive amounts of energy usage. It's unimaginable. Without clear planning and safeguards, residents may face higher utility costs. As of March of 2025, there were already 5,426 data centers within the United States. And of course, since then, that number has only skyrocketed. And about 56% of the electricity used to power data centers comes from fossil fuels. Data centers' projected electricity demands for 2030 is set to increase up to 130 gigawatts, which would represent up to 12% of the total annual US demand. So that's 130 gigawatts for one data center. Now, how much is just one of those 130 gigawatts, you may ask? Let me tell you, just 1 gigawatt is equivalent to upwards of 180 million solar panels. And of course, building new fossil fuel plants to help supply energy for these data centers will increase carbon emissions and will only continue to add to this detrimental climate crisis that we are already in, and at rates that most of us cannot simply comprehend. Number 3, strain on local infrastructure. Large industrial loads can impact grid stability and long-term infrastructural needs. The township, your township, should always demand clear answers and solutions, and of course, know who is going to be paying for all of this. Number 4, extremely high water usage. Data centers use immense amounts of energy, thus causing these computers to heat up very quickly. They are constantly being used 24/7. And how do they cool down, you may ask? By using fresh, clean, drinkable water. Obviously, clean and sufficient water supply is a huge necessity for anyone and everyone, and they are using it all to cool down these data centers. And remember how just one data center uses upwards of 130 gigawatts? Just 1 gigawatt of power is equivalent to half of the Hoover Dam's energy production for one day. Without binding conditions, the developer could choose cooling systems that use extremely large amounts of water, which matters even more in townships where residents rely on well water and where municipal water bills are already high, which of course is typically seen in low-income communities of color, just like where Amazon loves to build its warehouses.
Eventually, that affected our well water. We're on a well here, and we started having issues with our well in 2018. I have to replace the hot water heater. I've replaced 2 washing machines and a dishwasher because of the sediment that's coming in.
A lot of what the Morrises are facing is from the polluting effects of this massive construction.
Number 5, better technology already exists. Many companies already use water-free or closed-loop cooling, hybrid air systems, and other proven methods that drastically reduce water consumption. These should be required, not optional. Billionaires do not care. And by adding these data centers that run 24/7, of course, this could only result in increasing energy bills for residents for years to come. Number 6, minimal job creation. Despite their size and resource use, these data centers create very few permanent jobs. As we have already discussed, one of the main key positive points that the data center people love to point out is that these places will give jobs to the community. Residents deserve a clear cost to benefit breakdown before the township grants any approvals or incentives. Number 7, potential tax incentives or abatements. Just like Billionaires, many of these data centers seek significant tax breaks, which reduces revenue for the township long term, and that burden often shifts down to the residents. Again, a majority, if not all of these companies are owned by the top 1%. You know, the people who only have to pay a small fraction for taxes. To them, it's simply pocket change compared to what we have to pay. And that's just with money. We have to pay with our land, our ecosystems, and our well-being, the planet's well-being. Billionaires do not care. Say it with me. Number 8, noise and quality of life impact. Cooling systems, generators, and 24/7 operations can create low-frequency noise, buzzing sounds.
Light pollution is...
You don't have to have a night light in the house. You can walk around the house at night and see everything. It's that bright.
And many other disruptions affecting nearby neighborhoods, and of course, not to mention the surrounding wildlife that lives there. You know, when they chopped down their foresty home just to build another data center. Number 9, size and visual impact. These facilities are often enormous industrial facilities. Everyone deserves the right to know where these buildings will be located, how close it is to homes, and what the long-term landscape's impact might be. Your average data center is roughly the size of 2 football fields, just 2, although they can grow anywhere up to 57 football fields. And if you can't quite picture how big that is, it is the size of the Vatican City. Just one data center is the size of an entire city. Number 10, renewable energy expectations. If a company wants access to our land, our water, and our grid, they should be expected to integrate solutions like rooftop solar energy or other offsets to reduce strain on the township's resources. These data centers use immense amounts of clean, fresh, drinkable water to cool down their systems. Number 11, the right to demand responsible development. Residents in the Planning Commission have the authority to insist on modern standards, detailed impact assessments, and protections for the community before any approval is given. As always, I urge you to do your own research on these topics, but in the bigger picture, these rules will become the standard everywhere. Always look into your community's development's FAQ, and of course, you always have the right to use your voice. You always have the right to free speech, so use it. Billionaires do not care about you. They never have, they never will, and they certainly do not care for the planet. There is no planet B. We need to stand together and use our voices to amplify these issues. We cannot stay silent. We all need to use our platforms to spread awareness and to educate one another. Do not leave anyone in the dark, as these companies already love to do. So use your privilege. We all have a right to free speech. Billionaires are not human, but we are, and we need to stick together regardless. As always, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be kind to the earth. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this very impromptu video. I could not sleep last night, and so I just wrote a script, and I started filming when I woke up. I woke up like this. Not really. But for real, we are all in this together. We need to stick together. We need to stand united. Make sure you are registered to vote, and always vote. Use your voice, use your privilege, use your platform for good. And I also urge you to visit the very important links down below in the description, in the pinned comment, and in my bio. Please check that out and educate yourself on what is happening around the world. And I just really want to thank you for listening. I hope this had some impact on you, and I urge you to share this information with anyone and everyone that you know, because this impacts quite literally every single person on this planet. I like to keep my videos more silly, goofy. You know, some things just need to be said, and I had to say this. So my next video will be a lot more lighthearted. But I hope you all have a beautiful, safe, and joyful holiday season and a cozy rest of your winter, and I will see you when I see you.